Out here at the in Washington D.C. Taking a walk down this memorial right here, Lincoln Memorial. I've only seen stuff like this on TV. I remember watching a movie. I believe it was a movie. Uh, was it 2012? It might have been 2012. The ominous movie about the end of the world. I think one of the parts in the movie there was this guy and this woman. I can't remember the characters or the names, but they were walking down this strip here, and they were talking about uh, their life. It might not have been 2012. I may be mistaken on that. It was another movie, but it was one of those end of the world movies, right? And she was a reporter, and she was walking with her dad. She was talking to him about how he treated her mom. Or she might have been talking to another reporter, but whatever the case, she was talking to him and she was talking about that was a bee. It was a bee that just landed on my finger. But anyway, she was talking to him about how he treated her mom and how the whole family broke apart and how that affected her in a real negative way. And it always made her feel like he didn't care about the family. And I think at that very moment, it really didn't matter because her father was just like trying to let her know that doesn't matter right now. The world is getting ready to end. And we're talking about this. And she felt that it was very important. And she had a valid point because now you want to come talk to this is her to him. Now you want to come talk to me now that the world is ending. Now you want to come and hug me and you want to come and be family and this, that, and the third. You want to be all compassionate. And she had a point. She had a valid point. But he had a valid point too. Is this really the time for us to be sitting here thinking about what I did and didn't do when the world's getting ready to end? There's a time and place for everything, right? And that was kind of an awkward moment, but it stuck with me, especially with this being the scenery. It stuck with me because it was like she worked as a journalist and she was to question the president. I think Morgan Freeman was the president. So if you guys know the name of that movie, you already know. But Morgan Freeman was the president, and there was a comet gonna hit the Earth. And yeah, he was talking to her about it. It was real somber. And my thoughts on that is this. Every single day, I turn on the news and I see stuff like the Democrats feel this and the Republicans are this and the Republicans feel this and they feel the Democrats are this and everywhere I walk around, it's just this constant storyline of we're the Democrats and you're the Republicans and we don't care about you and you don't deserve to be in power, you don't deserve office, get out. And then the Republicans are saying the same thing, vice versa. In the meantime, there are things going on in the cosmos. And see, that's when people tell me, come back down to earth. You're not, nah. Because being a Republican and being a Democrat is not the end all be all to life on this planet. And I think sometimes we spend so much time on the little things and so much time on the petty differences and so much time on the differences of opinions, and we spend so much time trying to invalidate one another and invalidate one another's philosophies and ideals in life that we forget that life can be snuffed out. At any given moment, life can be snuffed out. We don't have to be here. We could be gone. And then you being a Democrat, will it matter? You being a Republican, will it matter? You being a libertarian, you being conservative, you being this, that, will it matter? If a comet right now, Lord forbid, but if a comet right now was was on a trajectory to hit the Earth right now, and scientists and astronomers was to say, you know what, the chances of us surviving this one is nil. We're not gonna survive, no one. No matter if you're in a bunker or not. You're not going to survive this. If that was to happen, would the conversations change? Will we still be arguing amongst ourselves about whose fault it was? It's the Democrats' fault that the comet's coming. It's the Republicans' fault that the comet's coming. Would that even matter? And if it did matter, how much time would we actually spend on that, discussing that, before we actually see that bright ball of whatever that may be made up coming this way? How much time are we actually going to spend on that? Who knows? Because hopefully that scenario never takes place. At least I hope I never see it. Not in my lifetime. Actually, not in nobody's lifetime. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But would it be something like that that would be needed to wake us up? To make us feel like there's a whole lot more issues that at hand that take priority in human history or in human life than arguing about who's in power, whose seat is this or whose seat is that. Sweetheart, if you don't sit in that seat, guarantee somebody's gonna sit there. Mr. So-and-so, if you're not at that podium, somebody else is gonna be at that podium. No matter what happens, somebody's gonna always take your place. You're not gonna always be in that place. So does it really matter? We're only granted a certain amount of time here on this planet. I believe I've discussed this before in one of my vlogs. We're only granted a certain amount of time here, some less than others. So what you do with that time, when you leave here with those memories and when you leave here with those experiences trapped in your soul, what are you going to leave here with? A bunch of arguments about fiscal spending, talking points, pork barrel issues and earmarks and legislation and policies and I'm this and I'm that and you're this and you're not that. And are we going to leave here with that? Or somebody's calling me while I'm trying to talk. Are we going to leave here with that? I don't think that when God downloads those experiences, I tend to think that when we go back, we talk to God. We take those experiences back to God, and then God decides whether we lived a good life, whether we actually enjoyed this life, whether we actually made something out of this life. Because I think we report that data back to Him so He can learn more.